Hey everyone! I was looking back at the video that I made about Portal 2, the one where I tried to figure out how many mistakes Wheatley made, and let's just say I could have done better. I also wasn't clear enough on what counted as a bad decision or not, and I forgot certain elements as well, thanks to all of those commenters who pointed it out to me. Also, the biggest mistake that I made was not playing through the main campaign of Portal 2 again before writing the script. The entire video was done from memory. Yeah, my bad. So, I want to go over Wheatley's mistakes and decisions more thoroughly this time. Originally, I wanted to look up what exactly a bad decision is, so that I could apply it to what Wheatley does. It turns out there are a lot of different examples on what is and isn't a bad decision. So much so, I have no idea which one is the correct one. For now though, I will apply this definition to some of the things that Wheatley does. For the other things that Wheatley does, I will apply my own judgment. Now that we have that in our minds, let's go over the first point that I counted as a bad decision that Wheatley does, which is him taking you to GLaDOS. He did consciously and intentionally take you to GLaDOS, but that was because he said there was an escape pod there. So if we look at it that way, I don't think I can count Wheatley taking you to GLaDOS as a bad decision. But I can count what he does the second you plug him into the escape pod as a bad decision though, as that definitely led to some unfavorable consequences and regret. Especially when he takes his time trying to bypass the password by doing it slowly. Then there is jamming the door with the bird egg. He definitely did it intentionally, and it did result in some consequences. Not only did the bird attack him, but another AI was put down by GLaDOS. So yes, that counts as a bad decision. Then we come to the part where Wheatley betrays you. Wheatley turning GLaDOS into a potato was in his best interest, but it did come back to bite him. However, it's not like Wheatley could have known that. Because of that fact, I cannot count Wheatley turning GLaDOS into a potato as a bad decision. Anyway, moving on. Betraying Shell is still a bad decision. I am not going to change that, as Wheatley does admit that he regrets what he did in the end credits. Sending both you and GLaDOS down to Old Aperture can't count anymore, because Wheatley had no idea the gel was down there until you reactivated the pumps. And Wheatley not maintaining the facility, causing it to begin breaking down, is still a bad decision. Now we get to the stuff I forgot about. We have Wheatley turning off the beam in this section of the game, thinking that would save you. I did have a hard time figuring this one out, as I cannot tell if that was a mistake or a bad decision, even with the definition I have picked, so I will let you guys decide. One commenter said that Wheatley talking to a computer was a bad decision. I have to disagree. It didn't result in anything bad happening to Wheatley. Sure, it was amusing to see Wheatley try, but I cannot count it as a bad decision. Another commenter said that turning the turrets into box creatures was a bad decision, as they wouldn't count as test subjects. Well, he never got the chance to see that, as the Franken turrets never got a chance to get onto the button. Also, fun fact, those cubes can never actually get on the button by themselves. They were designed that way by the developers. Moving on, we have this part in the chapter, the part where he kills you, where Wheatley puts conversion gel in the room with you, allowing you to easily escape from your predicament. Now I'm a little bit mixed on this one. Sure, it did backfire on him, but did he really put the conversion gel there intentionally? Or was that a genuine mistake? It's really hard to tell, so again, I will let you guys decide. Now we get on to the part where you fight Wheatley. So I counted him putting the conversion gel into his chamber as a bad decision, but with that particular definition of what a bad decision is still in my mind, I have to re-look at it. Did Wheatley intentionally place the conversion gel there, or was it a mistake? I'd like to believe that he did put it there intentionally, as he probably thought it looked cool. Although he makes no mention of it until you break the tube with his bombs. So we could all argue it was a mistake. However, if that was a mistake, that means it isn't a bad decision. So again, I will let you decide if this should still be counted as a bad decision or not. Anyway, after you break the tube open and put the gel everywhere, Wheatley still decides to attack you, even though he knows the bombs will lock on and get stuck every time. So despite knowing that fact, Wheatley still chose to attack you anyway. So that has to count as a bad decision, as Wheatley was doing it intentionally and it backfired on him. With all of that out of the way, let's see how many bad decisions Wheatley made this time. 6. Well, mostly because I wasn't sure if I could count Wheatley turning the beam off, him placing the conversion gel in the death trap, and his lair as bad decisions. But if I did count those as bad decisions, then the counter would be 8. If I was wrong about my count again, let me know. I would love to hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, then give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. I'll see you next time.